Hi lovely and darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I'm reviewing Venturess by Betsy Cornwell. This is the second book in the duology, with the first book being Mechanica. So book one is a steampunk fantasy retelling of Cinderella, where our main character Nicolette is an inventor who builds these magical robots. And there is also fairy or fae magic involved, and I really love the fairy culture that we're introduced to in Mechanica, and we get to explore a lot more in Venturess. So the fairies are non-binary. They don't have a male and female. There's just one gender, and their family groups are slightly different as they just have a group of friends that decide to kind of live together and just are one unit. I really love it. This entire series has a bit of a feminist and an LGBT vibe going on in them. I really love them. So this review will spoil book one Mechanica, as will the entire second book. So if you haven't read book one yet, I will post the link to my review of Mechanica down in the description below. This will be a spoiler-free review for book two Venturess, though. So at the start of book two, we meet up with Nicolette about a year after book one ended, and she is a successful inventor. So everything that she built and showed off last year at the end of the book has gained her fame, and everybody loves her inventions, and she's very in vogue. Her workshop that's in the middle of the city is a huge success, and she also is living closer to the palace and Caro and Finn. So Finn is the prince, and Caro is one of the palace workers there. But the three of them together are just this really close-knit family group. They are really just best friends, and they all love each other so much. I adore the dynamic between the three of them. It's wonderful and fantastic, and it's one of my favorite parts of the series. The main part of this book, though, is a message that Nicolette receives from her former housekeeper, Mr. Candery, who is part Fae, and he offers her an invitation to come to Faerie with Finn, the prince, and negotiate a peace treaty. And even though it sounds like a trap, it's too good an offer to resist. So Caro, Finn, and Nicolette set off on a voyage to Faerie. They take a hot air balloon to go there, which I kind of loved instead of like being a normal ship thing going on with like a boat. So we get to see the world slightly differently. There are still monsters and exciting storms and stuff happening on this voyage. And I really love the introduction of Captain Wheelock and how he kind of fits in with the group because he's this younger captain, but he's trying to command the respect of people who are older than him. Also about the voyage is that Nicolette is afraid of heights, and I totally get her. Like the entire trip where she is like being uncomfortable about being in the air, basically. She's not necessarily freaking out, but she's definitely not 100% on board with this, and I totally related to that. So they get to go to Faerie is the main part and my favorite part and the thing that I was most excited about for this book. I love everything about it. I love the geography of it. I love the society. I love the way the family groups are set up. I really love the leader Talus. Like everything about Faerie is amazing and totally worth it. It did not disappoint. There are a ton of twists and turns and adventure in these books, and because this book is not a retelling, like book one is a retelling of Cinderella, this book is its own thing, and so it got to do its own thing, and so we didn't know what was gonna happen, and I loved that. Like Mechanica, you kind of knew where we were going with it. There were some surprises, but not like Venturess. The ending of this book is really heartbreaking and also very sweet, and I love it, but it's not without its pain, I gotta say. But still worth it. And seriously, guys, I love Caro, Finn, and Nicolette together, the three of them. The way that they interact with each other and they work with each other and just bounce ideas off each other and just cooperate. And of course, we get to see Nicolette's inventions in here, like jewels and the buzzers make reappearances. I'm kind of disappointed that there wasn't more mechanical engineering inventing stuff going on in this book. Like that was such a huge theme in book one, is how much she loves building and how that's how her brain works, and it kind of felt like it was lacking in Venturess. So this book is much more focused on relationships and interactions with people as opposed to her building abilities. She still does some inventing and some building, but I feel like it just wasn't as big a focus as book one, which was kind of disappointing because I felt like that was part of who Nicolette is. On the whole, I gave this like a 4.5 stars. Pretty sure I actually gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. It's worth it. Like, totally check it out. Amazing and fun and delightful, but mostly it's just adventurous. Check out Mechanica and Venturess by Betsy Cornwell if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments below if you have read this book or if you are planning on it. Peace out. I love you guys and keep reading. Bye.